So we have a before shoot method here. You can see where we're using the test container manager to start all the containers. So let's go inside this test container manager and we see what it is doing. Okay. So this is the start containers method, which is creating a MongoDB instance. You can see, and it's using Mongo 6.0.5 image to create the MongoDB container. Then it's creating a Kafka container here by using this image. Then inside the for Kafka container, it's creating some order topic here, having the three partition. Okay. Then we have to create our consumer container. So to do that, is reading the consumer image from the config file. So let me show you. Inside app properties, we have given the consumer image and producer image, right? So it's going to read that and it will going to create a container from that particular image. Then it's reading the MongoDB database. After that, it's trying to create a container where all those configuration have been done for that particular container. Like for consumer, we have to set up the Bootstrap server. Then we have to set up the MongoDB URL. Then we have to set up the MongoDB database. Then database name. So for consumer container, what are the environment variables needed is adding all those information here. After adding all those information, is creating the container of that consumer. Okay. Then next step is you have to create the producer container. The same way is reading the producer image from the properties file. Then is adding some of the environment variables, Bootstrap server, then our MongoDB URL, then MongoDB database URL, the database name, so that this information will be available inside the container. Then we started the container. After everything is done, now its job is to update the app.properties where we have the backend URI, consumer URI, and producer URI, right? So it will going to fetch the URI from the containers and going to update here so that during the test execution we can get the URLs dynamically because each time we'll run the container we get a different URL, correct? So to manage that we are updating all the URL information in the config manager like producer URL, backend URL, consumer URL, and MongoDB URL, and Kafka Bootstrap server. These URLs we need during the test execution. Okay, then let's go back to the test. After the containers setup done, now we have a before method, which is basically for creating report manager and adding this particular test to that report. This is simply reporting purpose. Then our actual test, where we are going to verify a end-to-end test, where you have to validate order request submitted successfully or not, it's got consumed successfully or not, right? So uh, we have product ID and we have initial stocks around 500. We are giving order 5. Okay. Then before doing that, we are going to load some of the test data to the MongoDB database. So to do that, we have a MongoDB client class, which is going to connect to the MongoDB connector using the URL present here. Okay, then it will going to load the test data present inside products.json. So I have kept some of the test data here, like this is one data, this is one data. Then we're just printing the products collection to make to ensure we have right data. Then we have to send the order, right? By using the producer, correct? So we are creating a customer ID here, random customer ID. Then we are creating an order request. Okay. So we have the order request class. Let me go inside the order request. Here we have set all the properties like customer ID, product ID, quantity, and price. So we are creating an order request class object where we have set customer ID, product ID, order quantity, and price. So after building, we got an order request object. Okay. So now what we will do? We'll use the order client here. Order client, which is basically extending the base API class. Inside base API, we have like to create the request specification where we are setting the base URL, content type, log method, get methods, post method. So this order client going to use all those methods. Order can get access to all those methods because it's extending the base API class. So we no need to write all those methods for this class. Got it? Only we are just mentioning the path of the post endpoint. Correct. So we are using the order client object to invoke the create order method where we just pass the order request object which have these properties. So this order request will be converted to a payload for the post request. After that, we'll get a response and we are just verifying if the status code is 201. Then we are extracting the order ID, right? Then we're just waiting for some time so that consumer will receive the order, then it will process it and it will save to the database. So we have given a 2-second wait time in between. Then next is step 2. We have to verify the order message is published to the Kafka topic or not. Like how we have checked earlier, right? Once the order is given, that particular event should be present in the Kafka topic. So we have this orders topic and we have to verify inside this order topic, this order ID is present or not, right? So to do that, we have a class called Kafka verifier. Inside that, we have a method verify order in topic, which will take the, we can see the bootstrap server URL. Okay. And we are getting this information from test container manager. And we have given the topic, which topic need to look for, and the order ID. Okay. Here the validation is happening. Next, after the Kafka validation done, now we are validating the consumer. If consumer process the order or not. So inside this consumer application, we have a endpoint, we have a path called API/order. If we give order ID to that particular path, it will going to return us some information like if that order got processed successfully or not. Right. So if that is 200, that means this particular order ID processed successfully. Okay. So this is where we are validating the consumer. Next, the database. So we have to connect to our database and we have to find the right collection, which is the orders. Inside this orders, that particular order will be present. So how we are finding the order? Answer is we are using the order ID, which one got created during the order creation from the MongoDB. So we are using the order ID to fetch that particular information from MongoDB. After fetching that information from orders collection, we are validating some of the information, like if the product ID is correct or not. So where we have given the product ID, we have the product ID here, your content. Then initial stock was there 500 and order quantity will be the 5. So what we are expecting here, the actual stock value should be initial stock minus order quantity, right? Because we have ordered 5. So there should be less 5 orders present in the MongoDB database. Okay. So this is how we are validating end-to-end. Then once the validation is done, we have an after switch where we are closing the MongoDB collection connection. Then we are stopping all the containers and then we are flushing out the report manager. So that report will be saved to the directory, respective directory. Right. This is just one flow. Let's see it by executing it. I have given some of the debug points here so that while execution we can see what exactly happened. Okay. So before execution, make sure to turn on Docker desktop. So let me give a debug. So you can see here setup suit method is running now. Okay. And say it's created a MongoDB container, then a Kafka container. Okay. It's created a topic, order topics with 3 partitions. Then all those 9 properties added to the container. Okay. Then all containers started and URI updated. That means after starting all the containers, whatever the respective URL is there for those containers, like for example, this is the consumer and producer container, right? They have their own URL. Like if I click on it, you can see these are the URL localhost 50.143. Like this, each containers have their own URL. So in this step, it's updated those URL to the config manager here, so that later during the test execution, you can use those URL. Okay. So this is the MongoDB client, and it's created a e-commerce DB database that loaded the test data from product.json. Okay. And we can see it's printed those test data here on the MongoDB. Okay. Now let's go to the next step. We are creating an order request object. So now let's send the order request using this particular request. Before that, let's see how the request look like. In this request object, we can see we have different properties like customer ID, product ID, the quantity, and the price. During execution, it will be converted to a JSON object to send as a payload with the post request while we'll invoke this create order method. Okay, so let's run this one. So post call is successful. Okay, and you can see as part of body we have sent those information here. Okay, then let's paste the order ID. We have order ID. Now we'll just wait for 2 seconds. Okay, so the Kafka verification also done. Now we are in this step where we need to validate the consumer. Okay, so we have the same order ID. Let's see what is happening. So consumer validation also done. Okay. We can see the consumer call also here. This is the consumer URL API slash order slash the order ID. Okay. Then we have to validate the database now. So let's print the collection first. So now we have a order collection and product collection, right? Inside is orders, we are expecting to see this particular order to be present, and the products details should have updated. Okay, so we can see in database order object where we are fetching the order information related to this order ID. So if we'll just look at this information, we can see the ID, event ID, customer ID, product ID, starters, prices, 49.99, and quantity is 5. Okay, so this information is present in the database for the order. Then you have to validate the product collection where the actual quantity should be less than 5 now because we have ordered 5 products. So let's see the updated product. Okay. Okay, so here we can see the stock value. Before it was 500, right? While initializing the database, we have given initial stock is 500. Okay, but now it's 495 because we have ordered 5 products. So it's updated correctly. Yeah. So we are just printing all those details. Let me just make this screen little bigger. You can see this is all order collection. ID, product ID, quantity, starters, created, processed. Then this is the products. In products, stock got updated from 500 to 495. So thus this particular test execution is successful. Now after that it will going to kill all these containers as you can see. So this is how we use the test container to uh, validate our test scenario. Let's see the test report. So you can get this test report from this reports folder. You can just see it's loaded all the test data to the MongoDB successfully, loaded the products collection. Okay, these are the initial set of the products where it was 500 stock. Then it sent a post request to the API/orders, okay, with body this one where the quantity is 5, got 201 underscore. Then this is the response body we received where we have order ID. Then we went to Kafka and we tried to fetch the order ID on Kafka events, and we got that particular event in Kafka where we have same order ID. Then all these informations are correct: customer ID, product ID, and quantity that is created. Then we try to fetch the information from consumer where consumer is telling its process that particular order. Then we need to look for the database where you can see stock got updated from 500 to 495. This is it.